All right, we're back for episode 16 of Death Note. Now, the last episode, I actually had kind of mixed things up. I had done episode 15 before 14. That looks kind of off. That's why. But now we know how 14 and 15 go. And when we left off in episode 15, Misa had agreed to basically have her memory wiped, to go ahead and let Light have all of her Death Note. He also made a comment at the very end that threw me a little off. He basically said, "Goodbye, Ryuk." Now, Light's always got these ideas and these plans on how he thinks that he's going to keep himself from being figured out. I'm thinking that has something to do with it. Maybe he figures he's switching over to the other Shinigami. Maybe he figures he doesn't need Ryuk anymore. I don't know. But it definitely threw me off a little bit when he first said it. Let's go ahead and read the information for this episode. Misa is in confinement, though her memories of the Death Note have been completely wiped away. So we know that the other Shinigami was like, "You need to save her. If you don't save her, I am going to kill you. Like, I am going to end you. What you've done is freaking unforgivable, awful, and if you do anything to harm her, you're done." I don't blame the Shinigami for saying that. Yeah, that means that Misa's not going to remember any of this. And she's going to be stuck in this confinement, which to me looks like a quite miserable confinement, and have no clue why she's there, what the hell is going on. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, with that threat of death, Light will actually do the right thing and save this girl and get her out of confinement. But I don't know, he's very self-centered, very narcissistic, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, let's get started with the show. And this episode is called Decision.
I hereby relinquish ownership of this Death Note.
Okay, so I didn't know he was going to relinquish ownership of any of the Death Notes, because it sounded like the agreement was to let him have all of it.
Mr. Stalker?
And then she loses all of it. Mr. Stalker.
What's with a new attitude all of a sudden?
Because she don't remember.
Even though I gave up Rems, all awareness I have of Rems still remains.
Okay.
I have to go through all this trouble is because you brought another Death Note to the human world.
Aw, poor baby.
I'm just hiding it, but get rid of it. Assume that I want to relinquish ownership of this Death Note.
Okay, so it sounds like he's trying to intentionally make it seem like he's not using any Death Note.
It was like she accepted it.
Why is she suddenly talking about a stalker?
Do some research on her history.
Hey, Amane! No one's buying this, so cut it out!
This is scary. What's going on? I need to go to the bathroom.
It's only been 4 minutes since you last went to the bathroom.
I'd be able to watch. Isn't that what you want? Isn't it? Pervert!
I'm a pervert? First of all, do you know who Light Yagami is? And if so, why did you approach him?
How could I not know my own boyfriend?
She was so tight-lipped about it earlier, and now she's openly admitting he's her boyfriend.
So she remembers the boyfriend stuff, but not. Oh. Okay.
Expecting you in room K2801.
I could be Kira.
No, Light!
Why come here to announce that you could be Kira?
Because he knows that you can't.
You are Kira.
We know El's never been wrong before.
What? Stop this!
Subconsciously, I might be Kira. Could be him and not even know it.
So he's playing dumb. You're claiming to not be conscious of it.
I feel exactly the same way. Thinking before that some people would be better off dead. That doesn't mean we're gonna go out and kill people.
I don't like the way that this is going at all, but what choice do I have? Let's do it. I need you to fully restrain Light Yagami.
What? You can't! My son's not capable of...
It's okay, Dad.
You so don't know.
Until you can say with absolute certainty that I'm not Kira, You cannot set me free, no matter what I might say.
You have my word. Come up with some sort of excuse for Light's absence. Please do it now.
This is all so sudden.
Ryuzaki, I'd like to request that you take me off this investigation. For holding my son Light as a prime suspect, given that it's not appropriate for me to be here.
I agree. But
Feelings got in the way.
Yep.
I agree.
Conflict of interest. Therefore, we're gonna keep you on.
To be honest, I wondered what you might do. You'd kill your son and then yourself.
I will ask that you confine me as well.
I spoke with Watari. He's made arrangements.
He's made arrangements. We're just gonna go confine everyone that's got a conflict of interest.
It's been 5 days since Light was put in prison. Not a single criminal whose name has been broadcast was killed. In these situations, I think the parents must suffer a lot more than the accused.
Especially since the parent doesn't know what the fuck's going on, but the killer does.
Perhaps you should rest in a more comfortable place.
Impossible! What makes you think I care where I am? It won't change anything. This is the best place for me. And no matter what the result, when I leave here, it's going to be with my son.
I think the least they could do, though, is let Misa
Miss
into a
Flora?
cell like that. Like, explain a little more of what's going on, instead of having her freaking attached to that thing all blindfolded and unable to move and shit like that.
Get rid of it. Huh? Got it. If I have no memory of his crimes, I'm not him!
I've never been able to accept this idea that Kira has been acting without self-awareness. Evidence points to you being Kira. Since we imprisoned you, Kira hasn't committed a single murder.
I must have been framed. That's the only explanation.
Feels believable to me.
We're wasting time!
As far as I'm concerned, we have all the proof we need.
Yeah, I'm betting he relinquishes
Criminals were just murdered all at once.
the notebook, somebody else gets it, and they do it. And then they're gonna think somebody else is Kira.
Now he started punishing criminals again.
He's all excited about it.
That means, my son, at least Light's name will finally be cleared.
Well, he's in the gray.
Did you hear what he just said, Chief?
Hell of a lot better than being completely guilty. Thank God.
Let's tell Light. Matsu!
We shouldn't tell him about this. Not a single new criminal has been punished. Are you ready to confess?
I am not Kira! I thank him for punishing the burglar who killed my parents. To me, Kira is a hero.
I don't understand what's going on here.
Oh boy. Alright, so that was episode 16. Quite a something. I still feel like it's all just Light playing the games that he's playing to keep himself from getting caught. And since relinquishing the death note is supposed to make them forget about it, he may genuinely not remember any of that shit now and really think that he's innocent. But I think that was his original plan all along with doing that, is I'm going to forget it, I will think I'm innocent, the evidence will make it look like I'm innocent, but I also think that Elle is smart enough to pick up on the fact that whoever picks up the death note is probably not going to do the same kind of things. They're probably going to change up how they operate, and that's going to start to look obvious.
So, Elle thought about that, that's all I'm going to say. Or not Elle, Light.
Right.
And also, Light took that last part into account. I knew that much. And also, I don't really understand why he decided to wait a while before restarting the killing. Because, I understand that it sort of will confuse Elle, because it doesn't make sense why it would stop and then start again. But I don't see how it's helping him.
I don't know. Maybe he thought that just in case something doesn't go to plan or something goes different than what I am thinking it will, I'll wait a little while before I officially decide to do these things. Any other thoughts or ideas?
No, only other stuff that happens later on that I already know.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want major spoilers. I am famous for spoiling things, but I do try to, even if I know what's going to happen in a future episode because I've watched it before or I watched it a long time ago, which I haven't with Death Note. This is my first time every episode watching the episode. When I do, or like if I've read a book before or listened to the Audible book before, or I've watched a movie or TV series or a reaction before, I am famous for having little spoilers, but I try to make it so that at least whatever spoilers I give are only for that episode or before, or that I don't think is gonna spoil future episodes. So that's what I try to do. It doesn't always work that way, but that's what I try for. And I really try not to do major spoilers because I know from back when I was doing Heartstopper videos and I got a bunch of big spoilers, it made it a lot harder for me to do the reactions, and it made it so that when I knew things were coming up, I didn't like the way it made me feel. I didn't like the fact that it wasn't a surprise anymore. So I do try to avoid big spoilers, and I do try to avoid spoilers of things that I know or think are coming in the future. But other than that, I do tend to be okay with spoilers a little bit on any of my reactions. And by the way, I am out of state right now. I took a short break a couple weeks ago, but only came back home for one day and then went back again for another break outside of state, just in a different area of the United States. I think I should be done in a couple weeks and back home. It will take me a couple more weeks to get started on any seasons or TV shows that I haven't started up, that I haven't gotten access to. I plan to do House of the Dragon reactions, and by this point I should already have a couple of the episodes that I'm able to edit and put out. But outside of that, I wouldn't be able to. Hopefully, I will get back in time to get the next episodes and be able to publish those episodes week by week like I usually do. It's just not something I can guarantee. It takes me a little while to edit these if that's something you're interested in. If not, that's okay. I should still be able to keep up with all the Death Note episodes. Either way, I'll see you next week. Bye. Until next time. See you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.